Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dilmer again, and welcome to my show. Yeah, I'm drinking a cup of coffee, and as you guys know, I'm always drinking coffee, and which is one of the things that I do to stay always alert. And as an indie developer, I think that's one of the things that we do the most is we work so hard, we work day and night, and coffee it's gonna become your best friend. Anyways, just to stay on topic, I wanted to talk to you about what are some of the things that you gotta prepare. I want to, give you as much information to get prepared from the very beginning. When I first started in the development, I was doing everything not the proper way, and those are some things that you really don't learn until later on. And 3 years go by, and you really don't have a process and a structure a studio until you go through a long time of hard work. So I wanna share to you some of the basics and things that you gotta set up, the website, the blog, and so on, so that you set yourself for success for the future. Meaning that you're basically creating what I want you to do is create a brand, not just create a game. A game is very important, but long term, I think if you want to do this full time and join me in that journey, I'm gonna be sharing what I'm doing better now to get me there as well. Because I'm like you. That's pretty much what I wanna do full time, and I've been doing way better, much better. But I think there's some infrastructure setup that you gotta do from the very beginning. And just to start, and this is the most simple thing, is you gotta start with a website. So you wanna make sure that you get a really good domain name. You also want to make sure that you get a company name. And you might ask me, so why a company name if I don't even have a game? Well, I want this to be as real as it can be, and it's gonna be real. So we gotta treat it as a business. I know that we are game developers and we just want to go in and code, or we might be artists and you just want to go into Photoshop, Illustrator, and then start creating, which there's nothing wrong with that, but we want to make it a business. And I'll tell you later on why that is so important. But yeah, so come up with the company name. The company name process, it's interesting, and I had a really good friend of mine tell me that I shouldn't be using my name in a company name, because you really want to look like a you I don't want to cheat, but you really want to look like a big company. Like when people refer to you as a company, you want to give them the perception that you're a big company. We are a startup, and you're starting with one person, and it's not that we're lying to them, but we want to look like a big company. We want to look like a corporation. So try to come up with a name that it really doesn't have your name. I know it doesn't apply to me because I have Dilmer Games, and it might work for you. I'm not saying that that's not the right thing to do. That's just something that a really good friend of mine who is really, really successful shared with me. So yeah, come up with a company name. You can use tools out there. I use Name Mesh to come up with variety of names. It comes up with very particular names, which synonyms. It adds different words into the name that you actually type in. So you can use Name Mesh for that. It's pretty helpful. And then once you have a company name, and once you're in that process, make sure that you're looking up at domain providers, and whatever company name you come up with, then you want to make sure that you find a .com website with that, because that's going to be very important long term for SEO. We want people to find you, and make sure that it's also a short name. We don't want to be have people guess what the domain name is, and it's too long to type to even remember. So yeah, that's very important. So make sure that you come up with a company name. Make sure that you're registering a business. On the business side, I done INCs, incorporations. I done LLCs. You can read more about that online. There's a lot of information online about those different types of businesses. I would recommend you do just an LLC. If something happens with the LLC, basically the liabilities on the LLC, it's not on you in particular. So that's basically a big protection that you get with a LLC. And it's also not too expensive to register LLC. I think it cost me about $50 to $60, and you can do it all online. It's very easy process. Basically, put in your personal information, what the business is gonna be about, and then what the company name is, who are some of the members in the LLC, and you have to wait about 2 to 3 days until you get an approval from the state. So they want to make sure that they're leading with, they're talking to people that are the right people, and that the company name is unique enough. So normally you get an email within 2 to 3 days with that information. So once you have a company name, once you have a domain name, so what's next? That's what you might ask. And the next thing is you want to generate content, and somehow that content needs to tie into your website. And why is that important? Because when people are looking for information online, you want to make sure that they're finding you. And unless you have a super viral game or a very viral product, that's just gonna happen automatically. But as a rule of thumb, if you're starting up and you're like me, you really are not known just yet, you want to start generating content, and not just any content. So I want you to basically create a blog. And this blog is not gonna be, it can be in WordPress, it can be your own version of a blog. I also actually use Django and Python. I found an open source component that has a blog, so I actually injected that into my own website. So, but what's important here is whatever the name of your company is. Say that we are dealing with DilmerGames.com, and that's your company name, and you might say, well, what is my blog? Where is my blog gonna live? So your blog has to live in www.domainname.com/blog, because we want all that traffic and all that content to hopefully go back into your main site, so that people can find your games and they can download your games. So very important, make sure that you have a blog. The other thing that I think is very, very, very important is we want the main landing page, the blog, to look seamless. And by that I mean they need to look really, really, really similar. Make sure that you're always looking at aesthetics. I am very, very picky when it comes to branding. So when it comes to branding, you want to make sure that all your products have a similar look and feel, because people are going to identify themselves with you as a brand. And when they look at your work, they're going to know, oh, this is this person's job. So you want to grow, you want to create a brand for yourself. My brand focuses on minimalistic games, on minimalistic applications. So everything that I do is very, very simple in a way, which some people might say, oh, no, it's not that simple. It has its complications. But going back to the topic, make sure that everything that you do has your branding. So we have a website, we have a domain, we have a blog. So what's next? So the next thing that I recommend everybody to do is to do social media. And I had another video where I talk about social media, but on this video I want to basically explain to you why social media is so important to start with, and in particular from the very beginning, because people are not gonna know who you are. They're not gonna know who is actually the creator behind the games. So when I first started up, I wanted to kind of get closer to other people that were doing what I was doing. So I was going into Twitter. I created a Twitter account, but I didn't really know how to use it that well. So I started following some developers and indie game developers to see what they did, and I was just so passionate about how much love they had for their art. They in just few tweets, I was able to engage with what they were creating. I was learning about what they were creating. It's so much. It's so nice when you see, another fellow indie developer saying, how motivated they are, how passionate they are about what they do, and you can see that on their art. So that's what I want you to work on, is when you're sharing content, you're not sharing content just to grow your brand, even though we want to grow the brand, but you gotta put yourself in the shoes of the person behind you. So whatever content you're sharing, whatever information you're sharing, it has to have a value, and it has to be something that is useful for somebody else. So just make sure that whatever content that you're creating, make sure that it is as valuable as you can. Make sure that you put yourself on the shoes of the other person that is going to look at the content, because that is very valuable, and that's going to speak for you as a brand. So you don't get overwhelmed. There's a lot going on that you have to do when creating a game, and this is just the beginning, and I'm here to share all that information for you. If you have any questions, concerns, just tell me on the messages. Send me direct messages in Twitter. I'm always available. My wife calls me an obsessed guy, and she's always making good jokes about how passionate I'm about all this. So feel free to send me information, comments, and again, thank you very much for watching the video, and don't forget to share this. This is something that I want to carry on and grow, and as much information as I can share to you, and how much you share, it's really, really meaningful for me.